Being an independent agency, we have the ability to find you the best price available to suit your insurance need. At Parker Insurance and Realty, we can help you package your insurance or find the specialty insurance required to get you covered. We are your source for any real estate needs, whether buying or selling. We can help you. Give us a call today so we can discuss your insurance or real estate needs. Parker Insurance and Realty, 265 South Macon Street, 427-9345. That's 427-9345.
Does your car or truck need a paint job, body repair, or even a tow? Call the experts at Licensed Body Shop. Family owned and operated since 1978. With a courteous, knowledgeable, and professional staff will meet all your needs at Licensed Body Shop, where everybody is somebody. Call us today. Let us take the stress away. We are located at 1526 Rainier Road, just past the dollar store. Give us a call at 385-6193. That's 385-6193. Licensed Body Shop.
Hi, this is Marcus with Sonic Drive-In in Jessup, Georgia, 919 South 1st Street. Just wanted to share with you our morning drink stop ad that we have large drinks for 99 cents every morning from 6 to 11. And we also have our large $1.49 iced coffee all day long. I just want to tell you all about our $5 Sonic Boom Box. It's a Junior Deluxe cheeseburger, a French fry, or a tater tot, your choice of any 6-inch hot dog, and a medium drink or a sweet tea. And also, don't forget, we have our $2 Sonic cheeseburgers every Tuesday. Thank you. Y'all have a blessed day.
Are you thinking of selling your home or business? Hi, I'm Gloria, and as a realtor, I know that getting rid of the clutter in your home is one of the best ways to help sell your house quickly. At Jessup Premium Storage, our family-owned company provides a convenient and secure building for all of your storage needs. We now offer outdoor covered parking for that antique car, boat, or RV. Due to our recent expansion, we offer units that range in size from as small as a bedroom closet to as big as a one-car garage. All of our units are inside and climate controlled with 24-hour access and security. Our leases run month to month, so you're not locked into a long-term commitment, giving you the flexibility to move your belongings out the minute you purchase your new home. Stop by today or give us a call, 530-8003. That's 530-8003. Jessup Premium Storage.
We're cool, clean, and secure.
At the all-new Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear, we have the vehicle you want at the price you need. It's just that simple. We want you to be our customer for life. We're giving a lifetime warranty on all new and pre-owned vehicles, 2009 and newer, with 80,000 miles or less. So stop the search and come see Mike Birch Ford, home of the lifetime warranty. We're saying thank you. Thank you very much for your business at Mike Birch Ford Blackshear, home of the lifetime warranty.
At the all-new Mike Birch Ford, we work hard to exceed our customers' expectations every day in every department. We want to be your automobile dealer for life, so we're proud to offer at no cost to you a lifetime warranty on all eligible new and pre-owned vehicles. At Mike Birch Ford, the new home of the lifetime warranty, we want you to become part of our family, not just for today or tomorrow, but for a lifetime. So come see us in our new facility in Blackshear and ask about our lifetime warranty. You'll be glad you did.
5 minutes after 8 o'clock, WIFO-FM in Jessup, 105.5 in your FM dial. Good morning, Butch Hubbard here with the 11th day of August on this Thursday morning. Looking for a 50% chance of showers a day. High today of 93, heat index of 106, so really humid today. The automobile is still at 2.6 feet and pretty much steady. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear, by Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, by Parker Insurance and Realty on Macon Street in downtown Jessup, by Lightseeds Body Shop just off of Rainier Road, and by Sonic Restaurant located on South 1st Street in Jessup. And Bob got a special guest in this morning.
Yes, we do. Mr. Del Keith with the IDA in the studios. We've had his brother, David Earl, several times. Finally got the man, Del Keith, in. How you doing, Del?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing fine. How about y'all?
Doing good. Good to see you. I said, that's about to come in and talk what's going on in Wayne County. They said the first start with the great news. The Piggly Wiggly's on its way. I understand you had a lot to do with that, even when you were at the chamber. I talked to Ashley Thompson yesterday. He said you were very instrumental. And as you mentioned, you got all these retreats. You talk about it being a team effort, and it is a team effort. Everybody has to work together, pull together, try to bring industry in. And this has been a nice coup for Wayne County to, see that building progress and know that Piggly Wiggly's coming.
That's exactly right, Bob. And I tell you, it's really a good story because about a year ago, Jody Ammons came to see me about the Winn-Dixie building and what she'd like to try to do in that building. And from day one, when I came back to the community, one thing I've always heard is we need another grocery store. We need another grocery store. And so when we sat down and talked, she talked about investing in that piece of property and what the odds of trying to get a new grocery store to come to town. And I told her that we would do everything we could to help her in that process. And Jody is one of those great people in Wayne County that really is vested in Wayne County. You know, she loves Wayne County. She just wants what's best for Wayne County. And you could tell that in her enthusiasm and everything she's done with this project. So we started on our side of the table, started the process of looking for a grocery store. And I don't know if you're familiar or not, but in the grocery business, it's very similar to the banking business. There's a lot of consolidation going on. So you have Bilo buying up Winn-Dixie, buying up Harvey's. All the smaller grocery stores are being bought up by larger grocery stores. So then we had to try to find a company that would do something a little different, that has individual franchises. And that's where we came across Piggly Wiggly. Piggly Wiggly has independent franchise owners that open up the stores. And it's really funny because it was 4 ladies that were down at Shelman Bluff down there and at a restaurant. And we're talking about needing a grocery store in Jessup, and just happened to be sitting right next to Missy and Ashley Thompson. And struck up a conversation with them, told them how bad we needed one. They turned around, came back to town the next week, brought me a telephone number. We reached out to Ashley and Missy on several occasions, and then we're able to help them arrange their financing and things like that, just to be involved in the whole process to make sure they come to town. They're great people. They're going to be great
people, yeah.
Community people. And it's exactly what I think we were looking for. And so Jody is tickled to death. I think they're going to open sometime in October, maybe.
I'm not sure.
Was the last I'd heard. But we've got a restaurant coming also, and then also you got your 007 girls in that shopping center. So she's really done a great job with that.
It's a great looking building. Like I said, she's done a lot of work with it, but it's just great to see. And at one time we had 3 grocery stores, and we were without one for a long, long time. Like I said, there's been a need for many, many years. It's just good to see it finally come back to Wayne County. I think it's going to be a very big, successful event. I talked to Ashley yesterday. He's in town today. Going to get with him. We'll find out the exact date of the opening, but they're excited. Like I said, as mentioned, they're great people. Jody's, said it has got Wayne County's best interest at heart. It was just a great team effort. But it's just fun.
Somewhere between 40 and 60 jobs.
Right.
I mean, that's what it's all about.
Right. And that's what they're in the process now, doing interviews and things like that. The first job fair, I think they had over 250 people show up for it. So a lot of interest, but it's going to be great to see that building finally. And plus, it just helps that part of time. For the longest time, you drive by and see that empty building, but now you'll see activity taking place, and you'll just help the rest of that whole area.
That's right. Everything's going to change. We've got a lot of momentum going in the community, in my opinion. You've got the farmers market that was remodeled, the new building downtown. Of course, certainly this new grocery store coming, the movie theater. Potential for renovation there and doing that.
Train depot.
The train depot. New owner for a hotel out there. That was another issue that we're trying to help with, and that seems to be 1,000% better at this point.
And that parking lot across from Cafe Europe turned out to be just a great asset as well, to have all that parking. I mean, it's
exactly right.
A nice looking area. That
city did an awesome job with that parking lot over there.
It really helped out as well.
I sure did.
Dale Keithan this morning, in case people just tune in and out, so we like to say who was in here. Dale Keith this morning with the Industrial Authority, and go ahead, Dale.
And the other thing is the city and the county are working together. There seems to be a real strong relationship there between them. We're getting roads fixed. We're talking about cost savings with consolidation and those kind of things. It's really a good time in Wayne County, in my opinion.
Well, you have the role now as IDA director, so tell us what that job entails and what your job's like, and what kind of industry do you look for, or how do you pursue industry in Wayne County? You hear it all the time. Wayne County wants jobs. Wayne County wants to grow. So how do you? When you get to the office every day, what's your job like?
Well, first, let me tell you a little bit about our development authority. Okay, we are the economic arm for the city and the county. Our main responsibility is for creating jobs and creating economic growth within the county. That's what we do. There are 2 types of development authorities. There's a statutory authority and a constitutional, and we're a statutory authority, which really means we're funded as a line item on the county's budget. We use those funds for staffing, land purchases, incentives for new companies coming to town, legal fees, any type of surveys, wetland delineations, endangered species surveys. You'd really be amazed at how much money those kind of things cost. And it's kind of an opportunity for us to develop these pieces of property, and we needed the funding to do that. So we have a 7-person board, and I will tell you, these guys put a lot of time with no compensation. They all really just want to do what's best for Wayne County, and they're good stewards of the money that's been entrusted to them and to us. I don't know if everybody knows the members on the IDA board, but you've got Randy Franks, Randy Cheston, Mike Butch, Kent Fountain, Joe Irati, Ralph Trapnell, and Kerry Jones. And to each one of those individuals, they're committed to Wayne County and what's best for us.
And everybody knows the chamber is going to move in the same building. We had Christy here earlier this week. I think she said, make sure you ask Dale, what's the date? What was that? So I'm asking, what's the projection? When would the chamber move over to the same building with the?
Well, what we've done is we realized that there's a lot of synergies between the chamber and the IDA. We're all looking for the same things. The chamber tends to deal more with the quality of life issues, and we deal more with the industrial, the employee part of it. But they work together in tandem, and it's a good thing for us to be under one roof, I think. And so what we've done is we've put out the bid to remodel the front end of our building. We're located at 261 West Plum Street, and it's the old health department building. And that building, I never realized till I went in, it's about 7,500 square feet.
It's a big old thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's huge.
If you look at it from Plum Street, you don't really see that. You have to see it from First Street and go around it, and there's a lot of space in there.
That's exactly right. And so we're going to model the front end of it. It's going to be somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000 square feet. We're going to create a brand new boardroom that'll be accessible to the public. That room's probably going to be 18 by 25, 30 feet long. Huge.
We needed one of those.
And then also create an area for the chamber to move into. We've gotten some bids in. We're going through those bids, and hopefully we're going to start remodeling here within the next 3 to 4 weeks. Hopefully try to get them in, by October, November, sometime in that time frame. So that's about where we are with the chamber. We're working on it, and it's one of our immediate goals to try to get done.
I know you're glad to be back. You said you had a lot of experience at Richmond Hill IDA and things like that, but it was good to get you back in Wayne County. I know you're glad to be back in Wayne County. That's where you grew up, were raised.
Oh, this is awesome. I mean, when you grow up in a community like Jessup and you have the chance to go off and work, coming home is something special. And it's reuniting with old friends and staying in touch with your families and things like that. And I tell you, I've lived in Southeast Georgia my entire career and working in the banking business, but there's nothing like Jessup in Wayne County. There's nothing like football on Friday night in Jessup, Georgia, in these other communities. There just isn't. And we're happy to be back. It is a little bit of a challenge for Janet and I with our grandchildren still over in Richmond Hill. The bulk of them, got one in Iowa as well. But it is good to be home.
You do a lot of traveling in your job, and is that part of it as well? Making a lot of contacts, or it's just curious what your job's like. What all I know you're busy.
I tell you that what we've been doing the first 6 months so far is we've been evaluating the properties that we have, and we continue to build on our relationships with the city and county, and I think that's going really well. And we've got a really rich history here in Wayne County, and our location 40 miles from the port in Brunswick, 60 miles from the port in Savannah. We've got both railroads, CSX and Norfolk Southern. We've got four lane highways. Those things work for us. But when I first took this position, I went to Atlanta with the understanding that I really need to create some relationships with the project managers up there with the state, also with the power companies, Georgia Power and the EMCs both have offices in Atlanta, and do really good jobs of economic development in all of those organizations. But I met with Chris Carr, and Chris Carr is the commissioner of the Economic Development Department for the state of Georgia.
Great guy.
Yeah, Chris is a really great guy. He's got some local ties here with Joe and also David Earl, and has known him for quite some time as well. And the first two things that Chris told me, he said, Dale, I want to tell you this. He said, first of all, you're competing with 158 other counties. And he said, you need to be up here in Atlanta to make relationships with these project managers. These are the people that handle the projects when they come to town. And they're the first people to get in touch with. And so what we've tried to do is I go at least once a month to Atlanta. I attend the GEDA luncheon, and then they usually have a function afterwards that they invite all the project managers from both the power company and the state. So that's one part of the process. The other part is that I've really learned in this whole deal is that the consultants and the project managers are the people that drive the bus. And so we've been involved in 2 conferences so far. I was involved in the conference over there for Gulfstream, their supplier conference. I attended that with Southeast Georgia Joint Development Authority, which we're a member. And then one conference in Winnipeg, Canada, was probably the most interesting thing I've done since I've been here. It was very unusual type of conference because they guarantee you the opportunity to sit down across a little 2x4 table with 14 different companies from around the world. And these are all companies that are interested in coming to the United States in some shape, form, or fashion.
That's good.
And so when you get that opportunity to sit there for just a few minutes to talk to the CEO of that company, to see exactly what his needs are and how you can meet those needs, I thought that was extremely important. And we had probably 3 or 4 leads from that one conference. Unfortunately, the other side of the coin in this business is that you try not to be eliminated, because they're looking at all different kind of places. And if you start out with they're looking for 50 acres and you only have 33, you get marked right off the list. So one of the things we've done as an authority is we've evaluated the properties that we've got, as I mentioned earlier. And, we've got several pieces of property around town, but most of these folks are asking for 50 acres. And we don't have that high and dry 50-acre piece of property. We've got a 33-acre piece, what I call Willow Creek, in between the railroad tracks by the LP gas tank area right there. You've got a 23-acre tract over by the Sierra Company, which is on the other side of Georgian Air Fabrics. We've got several pieces of property, but we don't get to that 50-acre piece. Then we have our Star piece of property, which is grad certified, and there's only about 40 or 50 grad certified properties in the state of Georgia, and we're one of them. And that's a 350-acre tract between Guard Eye and Mount Pleasant on the left-hand side if you're going south. The guys purchased 350 acres in there. There's about 205 acres that are uplands, that are not wetlands. And so we're trying to market that piece of property. When you get grad certified, you have to do several things to make it that way. You have to get permitted for water, which they did. You have to get permitted for a sewage package plant, which they did. And then you have to have access to rail. Right there, runs down the highway at 341. So we've got access to that. And electricity and gas. And unfortunately, after we went through this whole process, the gas company, Atlanta Gas, has a line that's over there probably 500 or 600 yards back in the woods that parallels 341 and runs to Brunswick. And unfortunately now, that line is at capacity. In other words, all the gas is being used at the end of the line in Brunswick that they can put in that pipe. So we don't have access to that at this time. But I think in talking to Atlanta Gas, there is a plan to increase the size of that line going forward that would allow us to tap into it. So when you go to talk about economic development in that part down there, and you don't have the gas capability today, then you kind of cut yourself out a lot from the manufacturing part of things, which includes, 150 jobs and those kind of things. So now we have to revisit and see what we need to do as far as utilizing that piece of property. Maybe it's more on logistics or distribution centers, those kind of things.
Right.
So we've had a couple of folks from that conference up in Winnipeg that I've had supper with in Savannah a couple of times. We've talked about the property. We've done some things. I was telling Butch earlier that one thing that I've learned about in this business is that it's like hurry up and wait. You talk to people and it's like me and you make a decision to go to the football game tomorrow night, but doggone, you just talk to people and it goes a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months.
3 months, half a year.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah, and it may be a year before these companies decide to come.
Well, for years, we've heard, we're in a great location because we're close to the coast. We've all heard about the deepening of the Port of Savannah, how it's going to make this area boom. Are you seeing that as an IDA member? Do you see that? And is that all going to come true? Or, we've heard it for so long, but.
Well, in the old days, and I've been doing economic development, I guess, for 20 years or better. I was on the board here for 10 or so years, for the last 12 years on the board over at Bryan County. And it used to be that if you had a piece of property that you were willing to discount and your school system was good and your quality of life was good, that people would come. Well, I can tell you that it is extremely competitive in today's world, and it's more detailed in today's world. They don't necessarily want to know how many folks you're graduating. They want to know where those kids are going to school. They want to know how many are going into the technical school. They're all looking to get the support they need from like the school systems. And there's some great programs at the school system, both the Coastal Pine and the high school. We work with them very closely. But those kind of things help get people to that decision-making process. Incentives have all changed. It used to be in the state of Georgia right now, it's a bond for title state. So in order for us to give tax abatement things, I have to own the property and then lease it to the company, and they pay for it for 15 years, and then for $1 they get the property. That whole time we work out some type of schedule for tax abatement, which is on their property tax and their equipment, and we take the number of jobs they're going to create. We take the investment they're going to put in that plant, $5, $8, $10 million. There's it's called a LOCI model from Georgia Tech that you plug all this in, and it tells you economic impact of having 150 jobs. And that's what we use around the table in our boardrooms to determine what we actually would give somebody to come to town. And so that we make sure that we're getting the biggest bang for our buck sort of thing. But to answer your question, you're right. We are centrally located between the two ports. The Port of Savannah is going to be probably in the not so far off future, the number one port on the East Coast. As they finish the Panama Canal and allow larger ships to come through, Savannah's deepening their river for those ships to come up through there. There's going to be a lot of expansion from Savannah, and we're hoping to get some of that expansion.
I can't wait to see one of those boats come up the Savannah River there, because you can be down there Riverwalk and see one of those big ships come by with all those containers on there, and it's huge. You can imagine one being bigger than that. That's going to be great for Southeast Georgia.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. It really is. And that seems to be the driving force between all of it right now, is that Port of Savannah. The Port of Brunswick continues to grow. It's more on the automobile side where they're bringing all these automobiles and stuff in. But the opportunity for our little point of the world I mentioned earlier, we've got those 4-lane highways. I mean, you can get on the 4-lane in Brunswick, go through Jessup and go all the way to Atlanta on a 4-lane. You can do the same thing. You go to Savannah, you can go up 95 to anywhere in a 4-lane. So
Another thing I heard that Wayne County has that the counties along the coast don't have is access to more water. That if an industry comes in and they need a lot of water, we've got it here where Glidden County or the counties there on the coast don't have because of being so close to the coast. Is that right?
that's exactly right. Over in Bryan County, where I came from, in Richmond Hill, the county can't put down any more wells. They have to make do with what they've got. And they ended up making an agreement with Savannah to buy some of their water the last time they did something. In the industrial park up on I-16 in Bryan County, if a new industry was to come to town and said they needed, 400,000 gallons a day, they couldn't provide it to them because they don't have that capability. In Wayne County, we're not restricted at this point. So we can put down wells where we needed to. And we've got permits to put down a well down at that 341 site down there, where you would put the well down. It would probably cost you $1 million to put that water system in. It'd probably cost you $2 million to put a sewage package plant in down there. Might be more than that. So you really need a project to go there before you commit to spending that kind of money on the development of that property.
Speaking of money, people always ask all the time, we say all the time, it's always about the money. Where does people ask all the time, where does the funding come from for the IDA? Explain that, how y'all are funded.
The funding comes from the county. We're a line item with the county. Presently, we're getting $300,000 a year. There was an agreement reached between the IDA and the county a few years back for the contract for about 5 years. And as I mentioned earlier, that money, the $300,000, is used for the staffing, for purchasing land, for paying for surveys, paying for engineering, all those type of things.
As you mentioned, it's always a team effort, but we do appreciate you coming in. I said, always good to see you. And I said, everybody's excited about that grocery store coming, and hopefully more things will come in the future.
That's right. Stay tuned. They're coming.
Dale's working hard.
That's right.
Dale Keaton this morning, director of the IDA here in Jessup and Wayne County. And thank you, Dale, for coming in and sharing with us this morning. We look
Thank
forward
y'all
to
for having
you on sometime in the future.
All right.
All right, the world famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear, Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, by Parker Insurance and Realty on Macon Street in downtown Jessup, by Sonic Restaurant located on South 1st Street here in Jessup, and by Lightsey's Body Shop just off of Rainier Road. It's 8:30, 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country, WIFO. It's 8:30.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony.
Words matter, my friends.
And it's Donald Trump's words Hillary Clinton's talking about, saying